Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. So today's video is a tag video. I'm a little behind. I got tagged Tuesday by Sandy over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy, and I've just been exhausted every day this week. And I haven't felt like doing much, so I kind of forgot to make this video. So I am making it now. And plus, I'm just happy that we were actually able to tag each other. Her and I love tagging each other, and like for a while there, we couldn't. We were already tagged, or like last week, we didn't get tagged at all. So I'm glad that we're finally able to tag each other. So thank you, Sandy. And of course, I'm thanking Tracey over at Trials of a Long-Haired Girl, because she writes these out every single Tuesday and does them and starts the tag chain. So thank you, Tracey, as well. Now, it's hard to know at this point. Normally, I get on it quick so I can tag somebody. I don't know who hasn't been tagged now. So I am tagging my friend Amy over at the TMI Queen Gets Fit, and Cat on Point, and No Excuses, Mary Fran. But they might have all been already tagged. I'm not 100% sure. But if you haven't, consider yourself tagged. If you have, sorry for tagging you again. And anybody that has not been tagged, but you want to do it, feel free. Answer the questions, make a video, let me know, and I'll link you in a later video. Cool. All right, so also just because it's distracting me, guys. I have a big painful pimple right there, and it's driving me crazy. I promise I do not have herpes. It is just a pimple from wearing those darn face masks. I get it, and I'm gonna keep wearing it at work, don't worry, and grocery stores and all that. I understand the importance of them. But because they get so hot, this section of my face is pretty much sweating all day. And so I've been getting pimples, but they've been in my facial hair and hiding. Now there's one right there, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, to the tag at hand. Random either or tag. So the first one is shower or bath. It depends on what for. For me, I feel cleaner after a shower. A bath, I love the feel of a bath. I love bubble bath. I love bath oils. I love bath bombs. Love all of that stuff. But ultimately, I feel like I'm soaking in my own filth. And I have to shower afterwards anyway. So if it's just for relaxation, love a bath. But for actually feeling clean, give me a shower. All right, clean shaven or facial hair. I have never actually been a fan of facial hair. I only have mine out of laziness, and then also the fact that it hides my extra chins down here because it looks like hair. But on other people, this or shorter, or preferably a little bit shorter than this. I like some scruff, that's fine. I'm not a fan of long beards. Like, those really do gross me out. And it's just anytime this question comes up, it always just reminds me of this story with my stepmom and my dad. My dad always, since I was a kid, had this like mustache, but it was like a 70s porn stash. I don't know how else to say it, sorry, but it was gross. And I remember the very first time I started to accept my stepmom was when she convinced my dad to let me shave it off. That was the highlight. I'm like, all right, Donna, you are officially welcome in my family, because that thing was so gross. And she's really helped improve his look a lot over the years. But yeah, anyway, so that's my answer. Number 3, dogs or cats or other. If I had to choose, it would be dogs. But I love cats. I love, honestly, all animals. Growing up, we always had so many. Like, I believe I've mentioned it before, but bear with me. I gotta remember. At one point, we had 4 dogs, 4 cats, 2 rabbits, 2 ferrets, 2 firebelly newts, a bird. Sorry, my roommate came home and was making a lot of noise, so I had to cut off there. The last thing on that list was a turtle in the basement. So that's all the animals I had at one point. So I love all sorts of animals. Not a fan of reptiles. But yeah, so moving on, the next question, tattoo or piercing? Me, I have both. I have both cartilages pierced, or both earlobes and this cartilage pierced, and I have 7 tattoos throughout my body, which I don't know if I've ever shown that one, and all the ones on my arms, and then there's one on my leg. So yeah, so I like both. For other people, I like seeing both. Yeah, I totally don't mind tattoos or piercings. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I was supposed to do either or. If I were to say either or, I do like tattoos more than piercings. I feel like they're more expressive because you can really see what somebody's into. Typically, they put on something that means a lot to them. So like even with mine, like with Bad Wolf, it's from Doctor Who, and it's all about expressing or determining your own destiny and things like that. And then, of course, this is from Xena, Warrior Princess. This is from a video game that I love. I feel like they're more expressive. But, you know, some piercings are cool. And I'm not a huge fan of a bunch of facial piercings. And some dermal piercings are cool. But if I had to choose, I would say tattoos. All right, now next question. Regular bed or waterbed? What year is it, first of all, that a waterbed is even talked about? But regular bed. I do remember as a kid, well, as a teenager / going into early 20s, waterbeds were still kind of around, and they're horrible for your back. They're hard to get in and out of, especially as a bigger person. Not a fan of a waterbed. Don't bring that back. All right, next one. Number 6 is savings or shopping. I want to be able to start saving. I do have a problem. I am bad with money. That's why during quarantine, like, it was actually really, really good. I paid off 2 credit cards. I was going to get rid of them, And then I decided to buy a computer, which should be here in a couple weeks. And in my defense, my laptop that I currently do things on, that's what I edit videos on and all of that, it is getting slower and slower and having more and more issues. So I was being proactive on getting that while I could still technically afford it because it was on these credit cards, and I can work on paying those credit cards off rather than it happening when I don't have any access to, and then I don't know how to function without a computer. So that's my defense. But as of this point, I am working on savings more rather than shopping too much, because I spend a little too much time on Amazon.com. And I have, at least in the past. Now, you know, for essentials or for certain things, I will get on there, but I'm trying to save more because I think it's time in my life that I actually have some sort of savings, more than, you know, $15 in that account. So yes, moving on. Number 7, night owl or early riser? I'm a little bit of both depending on the day. When I was younger, actually, it was funny because, like, I was a hardcore night owl when I was a kid, especially because throughout my whole life I've always had issues sleeping. But when my mom got sick and I had to take her to dialysis, we had to be there at 5:30 in the morning. So from then I got used to getting up early and not sleeping in. And that kind of turned into actually a combination of both, where I'd stay up late and wake up early. I could run fine on 4 hours of sleep. Nowadays, I need more sleep. Like, 1, I understand the health reasons, but 2, my body just straight up needs it because there's not an exact number for anybody. And I think for that period of time, that was fine for my body. You know, I was obese, so who knows? But at the same time, I was running fine. I wasn't tired or exhausted all day. Nowadays, I tend to wake up early, so I'm trying to go to bed earlier. Like today I did actually slept in until 7. That was a huge sleep in for me. But since I typically wake up between 5:30 and I guess 7, it used to be 5:30 and 6:30, especially during quarantine. I would, no matter how late I stayed up, that would happen, and then I'd be tired all day. So I'm trying to make sure I go to bed early instead. All right, so number 8. 3 meals a day or 5 small ones? It's really neither for me. I have 3 main meals, and then I also have 1 to 2 to 3 small snacks, depending on how many points those meals costed. I do still mentally think of calories and points or bites. because I track Bytes app. I think of them as currency. And so like, how much does this food cost me? Okay. So, but typically it's 3 of those that are going to be actual meals. And then, you know, 1 to 3 snacks on top of that. So neither one of these really fit me. Number 9, silver or gold. I am not a gold person. I don't really like gold jewelry or that much gold coloring in general, unless it's like a golden skin color. Then that's pretty. But the actual color gold, I'm not a fan of. So for me, it'd be more silver. Any chain, I'm actually not wearing a chain right now. Weird. Normally I'm wearing some kind of necklace. But I always get silver chains. I always, you know, have silver accessories, things like that. I'm not a gold person. Just, I don't know why. I've just never been a fan. So yeah. All right, last question, number 10, pen or pencil? Again, this is really depending on what I'm doing. If I'm taking notes or if I'm planning something out, I need a pencil because I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna need to erase it and all of that jazz. When I get to the final step, then I switch to pen. So like say if I'm planning a video, as I'm taking notes, as I'm writing down things that I wanna make sure I touch base on, I will have like several pieces of paper that I'm using a pencil on, and then I redraft it and organize it so that like, you know, the final thing is a list in pen rather than pencil. So that way, I don't know, I just like that look for the final thing, and it's easier to see, especially depending on the lighting, things like that. So yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. If I could use, like I have a printer over here, it's my roommate's printer, but ink is very expensive. If ink wasn't so expensive and paper wasn't so expensive, I would honestly type everything because then I can backspace and all that jazz and print it off. But I don't want to use up ink left and right or that much paper. Honestly, I already feel bad enough about the notebooks that I go through because I'm looking over there and I have a stack of 3 notebooks that are half filled and they're just mainly notes for YouTube videos. And just a lot of paper gets used. But at least with that, you can recycle it and things like that. So yeah, so that's all of my questions. So again, thank you, Sandy, and thank you, Tracy, for coming up with the questions. And I am tagging my friend Amy over at Let's Get Fit with, or the TMI Queen Gets Fit, Mary Fran at No Excuses, and Kat with Kat on Point. And if you want to do it, feel free to do it. All right, thank you guys. Talk to you later.